Gary Player, with all the calisthenics and everything, that was great.
And weight training, yeah, he changed things.
Hey guys, Christo Garcia of My Swing Evolution. I am coming to you from New York City. I've got a beautiful view. I'm overlooking the East River, and this is one great Thanksgiving trip right here. And my brother Bobby and I are headed to the Met later, which is just my favorite museum. And it brings me to this great topic that I wanted to talk about the golf swing. Is the golf swing a natural thing that you just either have or don't, or can it be developed? And this is a really great question. The reason why it comes up is because I had a person comment on one of my videos and say, basically, either you have good hand-eye coordination or you don't. And if you don't, golf's just not for you. And you know, it's an interesting point of view, but it's really lacking a lot of, shall we say, nuance, because everybody's unique and different, and everybody has varying degrees of natural talent as opposed to what they've been taught, okay? And it is my experience, having been a professional martial artist and a professional ballet dancer, that if you have great natural talent, that's a very important part of the mix. But you also require great instruction if you want to make it to the top. And then you bring in drive and work ethic and all these other things. So I want to talk about nature versus nurture in the golf swing. Now, the reason why I brought up the Met at the beginning is because I consider golf to be a fine art, okay? So my definition that has served me well through the years is the difference between a fine art and a popular art is you need a master to teach you a fine art, but you can teach yourself a popular art. For example, if you're playing the guitar, you can largely teach yourself how to play the guitar. You're probably not going to be a concert violinist unless you have somebody teach you. You can teach yourself to rap, you can teach yourself to sing a lot of different styles of music, but you're not going to teach yourself how to sing opera. You know, so that's the difference between a fine art and a popular art. And golf is a fine art, in my opinion. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, there are those natural talents, those artists out there that can do amazing stuff. And, you know, like Bubba Watson claims he's never had a lesson, but he probably can't claim that he's never had any guidance, you know. So that's the thing, is like, you know, a lot of people, and there's a scale, so there's always going to be outliers on either side of it. But My Swing Evolution, I think, is a very interesting experiment because I had a high degree of movement skill and a very poor golf game, right? So how could I have a high degree of movement skill and have lessons with, a lot of people don't know this, but as a teenager, I took quite a number of lessons with David Ledbetter. And so I had pretty darn good instruction. And the one thing I will thank Mr. Ledbetter for the rest of my life is being able to see how a professional works. That it's not like you just fool around, but it's a job. You hit golf balls. I'd be on the driving range, and I'd see Nick Faldo out there hitting golf ball after golf ball, hour after hour. Dennis Watson. I saw Calvin Peete. I got to see a lot of great golfers when I was in my mid-teens. And it certainly did help me a lot. When I was in the 9th grade, I shot 1 under par against the best player in our district. And my coach was like, oh my God, I tied him. And it was like, wow, this kid's got some talent. But I went way off the rails because I started to develop these misconceptions about what the golf swing was. And then my guiders, my brother went off to college, the one that I admire so much, Don. And then, you know, Ledbetter became huge and unavailable. And yeah, I just thought I knew enough about the golf swing that I would just hack it out myself. And my game got worse and worse and worse until I was absolutely in the depths of despair. So why do I tell you this story? It's because I had misconceptions about how to swing a golf club. Okay? I talk about the golf swing as a whip that's 12 feet long from the tip of the club down to your feet. And I swung the club starting from my hands and arms in this direction. Now, what I swing now is from the ground up in this direction that puts the club in orbit. That simple misconception made it impossible for me to get better at the game. Now, that being said, that's a method that worked for me to allow my left heel to rise, get more body turn, and work from the ground up. But that being said, that's the reason why that helped me to get better. Other people swing the opposite way, and you can play that way. It didn't work for me for 20 years. Okay? So the point that I'm making is there's always going to be a combination of, A, what do you bring to the table in terms of your physical ability and skills? You folks have seen me going through a fitness evolution, which will be a part of MSE TV. I've lost 35 pounds. I do yoga multiple times a week. I go to the gym a few times a week. You know, I'm in the best shape I've been in probably about 12 years when I made my last ballet movie. And I'm very, very proud about that. So there's the physical work that you have to do. You have to know what it is you're trying to accomplish. You have to break down the work into small enough pieces that you can conquer those small pieces of the puzzle. And then it has to be in the right order. You don't want to be working on conquering the puzzle of supination and all this if your lower body's all wrecked up, you know. It's going to affect all the other pieces of the puzzle. So there's a proper order and sequence you have to work in. And that's one of the major things that I've realized in my swing evolution, especially now that I've had hundreds of students that I've worked with. So to get back to the original comment, I felt really bad when I read this gentleman's comment because he sounded like he had been defeated by the game of golf. And that's actually the beautiful thing about golf is we've all been defeated by it. But you can have your day too. You can get much better at the game, as I've proven. And now, I mean, I'm just living the life. It's insane. I just am so happy about what happened, and it took a tremendous leap of faith. It's like jumping from one of these skyscrapers to another skyscraper, Neo style in the Matrix. You know, it's like, I'm just going to do this. But you know what? I made it, and you can too. So you have to remember, you have to have the right information for you, bring the best you can to your work, and also give yourself a break and try and enjoy the game, because we're very, very fortunate and blessed to be able to play the game of golf. You know, especially reflecting on all of the things I've been blessed with this Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, but there's also responsibility. I can't be slacking. In fact, I'm working harder than ever. And I'm looking forward to the December 1st MSE Intensive. I'll see you guys down in Tampa, where it's going to be a lot warmer than it is here. My gosh, I heard it was 75 yesterday, and it was 27 here. So that's going to be just fantastic. And I've got something that I'm going to drop on you guys pretty soon I think everybody's going to love. So just a heads up, I've got some cool stuff coming. I hope you hit them long and hit them straight.
Hey guys, so let's cut to the chase. Here's my old golf swing. And here's my new golf swing. Five years ago, I started a YouTube channel, and I wanted to improve my golf swing by using Ben Hogan's 5 lessons. Well, guess what? It worked. And along the way, I picked up over 8 million views on YouTube, and I learned how to shoot under par. Unbelievable, right? Well, the great news is I have a brand new instructional video called The Hogan Code. In this video, I break down everything that I learned over my long journey to learn to swing like Ben Hogan. And now you can learn the very same techniques that I used to become the golfer I always wanted to be.